Attention passionate Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Today we have some explosive news coming out of the NFL, and it's not just your everyday rumor mill. No, this is something that could shake the foundation of the NFC West and totally reshape the Seahawks' future. Imagine a scenario where the Seattle Seahawks, already a team on the rise with a 5-2 record, make a bold move that elevates their pass rush to a new level, potentially setting them up for a deeper playoff run and maybe even a shot at that elusive Super Bowl trophy. And all of that hinges on a trade rumor that's been buzzing lately. Yes, you heard right. Seattle might be eyeing a blockbuster deal to bring in Jalen Phillips, the Pro Bowl edge from the Miami Dolphins. Now I know what some of you are thinking right now. Phillips, isn't he a Dolphins player? How does that even make sense? Well, let's break it down. Phillips, at just 26 years old, is a speed rusher who's been turning heads across the league. Think of him as a player with the explosiveness and sack-making ability that reminds you of prime Nick Bosa. Just last season, Phillips racked up 5 sacks in only 8 games, along with 38 pressures, 7 tackles for loss, and a PFF grade of 89. That's elite production, especially considering he's been remarkably healthy this year, with 0 serious injuries, which is a vital point in these kinds of deals. His win rate of 28% and 14 QB hits show that he's consistently disruptive, and his EPA per rush of -0.30 indicates he's a nightmare for offensive lines trying to contain him. But what makes Phillips such a tantalizing target for the Seahawks isn't just his numbers, it's his potential. The Seahawks, after losing their rookie edge to injury in Week 1, have been looking for ways to boost their pass rush, especially after a season where they finished with a solid 5-2 record. Their defense has been improving, and with players like Mafe, who has shown signs of breaking out but is rumored to be on the trade block, adding a player like Phillips could turn their front 7 into a nightmare for opponents. Mafe, with a PFF grade of 86. And a rushing defense that has been decent, could benefit from Phillips's presence, creating a duo that could terrorize quarterbacks and shut down the run game. Now, let's look at the numbers. The Seahawks project to add around 12 sacks and 22 pressures with Phillips coming in, which would significantly boost their defensive line's overall grade, pushing it up by around 7 points according to PFF. When paired with Mafe, who's been developing nicely, this duo could rival some of the best pass-rushing tandems in the league. Think of the 49ers, Bosa and Young, but with a Seahawks twist. Phillips's ability to beat double teams 25% of the time and successfully execute stunts 76% of the time makes him a strategic asset in their defensive scheme. But it's not just about the raw numbers. Phillips's addition could elevate the Seahawks' entire defensive approach, especially under the guidance of defensive coordinator Clint Hurt. His ability to generate pressure, combined with the Seahawks' improved secondary, could lead to more turnovers, something they've been striving for all season. Plus, their points allowed per game has dropped from 21 to around 16, a clear sign of their defensive evolution. With Darnold under center and a more aggressive pass rush, the Seahawks could be in for a playoff surge, and maybe, just maybe, a Super Bowl appearance. Let's not forget the bigger picture here. This trade could also be a strategic move for the Dolphins. While they're currently sitting at 3-5, with a cap space of roughly $6 million, and a rebuilding plan centered around their young quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, trading Phillips might be a way to acquire picks for the future. They're in a phase of retooling, and giving up a player like Phillips for a second-round pick in 2026 could be a smart move if they believe they need more draft assets to rebuild the roster around their young core. From the Dolphins' perspective, the skepticism is real. Their defense, which is giving up around 26 points per game, has struggled with efficiency, especially in the run game, where they've seen a decrease in EPA per rush by about 18%. Their offensive line, rated around 68, 9 on PFF, isn't exactly a fortress, and they're facing some doubts about their youth and consistency. Losing Phillips might sting in the short term, but it could be a calculated move to focus on developing their young players and accumulating draft capital for long-term growth. Meanwhile, the Seahawks see this as an opportunity to push even further in the 2023 season. With Phillips, they could add a player projected to contribute around 12 sacks and 22 pressures, which, combined with Mafe, could turn their defensive front into a dominant force. Their rush defense, which is currently allowing about 4.1 yards per carry, an area of concern, could be significantly improved with Phillips's ability to disrupt the backfield. His success in executing stunts and beating double teams makes him a nightmare for offensive lines, and his run defense grade of 84.2 shows he's not just a pass rusher but a complete defender. Now, let's talk about how this could impact their playoff chances. The Seahawks, with their current record of 5-2, are already looking like playoff contenders, but adding Phillips could be the X factor that propels them to a top seed in the NFC. His projected contributions, around 2.8 pressures per game and 1.6 sacks per year, are game-changing numbers. When you combine these with the strategic adjustments made by coach Pete Carroll and defensive coordinator Clint Hurt, the Seahawks could elevate their defense from good to elite, especially in high-pressure playoff moments. And what about Super Bowl chances? Well, the betting odds already reflect the Seahawks' rising potential, with their odds improving from plus 3,500 to plus 1,500. That's a significant jump, and it's not just luck. It's a recognition of the added depth and talent on their roster. The Seahawks are now seen as a team with a real shot at making a deep playoff run, especially if they can leverage their improved pass rush to pressure mobile quarterbacks like Kyler Murray, who has been a thorn in their side in past seasons. Phillips's ability to generate QB pressures, around 25% more than their current edge, could be the difference maker in close games. In conclusion, this isn't just a rumor. It's a strategic move that could define the Seahawks' season and beyond. Phillips's talent and fit within their system make him a perfect addition, and if the trade goes through, it could be a masterstroke by the Seahawks front office. They're building a defensive line that could rival some of the best in the league, and with the potential to elevate their Super Bowl odds significantly, this move could be remembered as one of the smartest of the season. It's a bold statement in a league where every game counts, and the Seahawks are clearly aiming high. Whether this trade materializes or not, it's a clear message. Seattle is all in, and they're ready to make some serious noise in 2023. Possa aqui, so por segundo. Se voquer quer que o algoritmo do YouTube continue recomendando as últimas notícias dos Seahawks para voquer, e acute super importante que voquer dake some like nesse video. Vai lá e acute rapido e faz uma diferença enorme. Obrigado. Agra vamos continuar com a grande revelação. E faz do Seattle Seahawks quero saber a sua opinião agra. O que voquer achar dessa possível troca. Voquer achar que Phillips seria o reforço que faltava para fazer o time alcançar o próximo nível. Dake seus comentários abaixo, porque sua opinião é acute muito importante para a gente e para Seahawks. E não se esqueça, e eu volto logo com mais novidades, então fiquem ligados para as próximas atualizações do Seahawks.